Buckeye Cast. The brotherhood, playing for the guy next to you, playing for the team.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? You're tuned in to the Buckeye Cast.
Buckeye Cast. Tradition of Ohio State, we take that serious.
These fellas were born and bred in the Buckeye State.
Buckeye Cast. The people of Ohio, we work every day to make them proud.
Visit us at thebuckeyecast.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Buckeye Cast.
Buckeye Cast.
Now here's your host, Joe Warwick.
I'm proud to be part of this group. Go Bucks.
What's up? We are
you
back.
You don't think LSU?
Hey, I'm talking.
Hey.
We're coming at you live. Pew, 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 pew. What's up, Buckeye Nation? We are live and in full effect tonight. Coming in with some heat after this big Wolverine roasting on Saturday. That was so enjoyable. Oh, I'm still aroused. Anyways, as always, folks, subscribe, follow the show. Don't forget about the supply store. We got new shirts, just went up today. We have the Gold Pants Club t-shirt. Shawn, have you seen this t-shirt?
Sweet. I did online. That's sweet looking design.
That's
nice
a keeper.
Looking design.
And that's one that keeps on giving because this dominance over the team up north is not going to change anytime soon. Also, I cranked out this ugly sweater version of the All I Want for Christmas is a Natty t-shirt. You might want to check that one out as well for the holiday season. You got plenty of time to land that booger in your fucking mailbox. So order now. We do have long sleeves in everything, so appropriate for use in the north. So, Shawn, first off, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great, man. I got me a honey-baked turkey.
Ooh.
Not a honey-baked ham turkey. It was nice. We didn't go with the full
that?
bird this year. We had a smaller crowd. But I got to recommend that bird. It's some of the best turkey I've ever had. You get the roasted.
Nice.
Turkey breast roasted.
Yeah.
Got that honey glaze on there.
Yeah.
Muy bueno.
They should cram a ham inside that.
It was
make it
great.
better. Right?
I loved it.
Cool.
But the funny thing about Honey Baked, I went to Honey Baked Ham Company to get that turkey,
Yeah.
and they have cops inside at the Honey Baked Ham Company. There's going to be a riot with them hams.
Nice. Like it's Tiffany's?
Nice guy. Talked to him for a while. That line, it takes a while. Yeah, like they're going to smash the counter and take the diamonds.
That's solid.
Don't get between people in that ham.
Yeah.
That pork.
Well, look at what they do for those crap-ass Popeyes hot chicken sandwiches. They'll fight a fucker just for a
I haven't tried one of them, but I'm looking forward to it.
Have you seen the videos online of the psychopaths that are pissed off when they run out of them? Dude, you're going to need 10 to 12 cops. That place is scary. So yeah, glad you had a good one. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving out there. It's always nice to get a few days out of the shop. First off, we owe Michigan a huge congratulations. They finished third place in the Eastern Division. So hang a fucking banner. Good job. Hang a fucking banner. You deserved that one. Buckeyes go 8-0 versus the team up north in the last 8. Ryan Day officially 1-0. Mark it down. Hang a banner for that.
Boom.
That's right. So Buckeyes go 12-0 on the season, as predicted on this show, I believe, correct?
I think it's been said. I mean, I think we were all a little wondering at the beginning of the year, but thought that this team, if Justin Fields was what he was hyped up to be, it's, I think, how we thought it could be.
Right. Anybody that wants to can go back and check tape if they like. I believe.
Well, you put money on it, right?
Sure did. Yeah.
That tells you money don't lie. It doesn't matter what you say. The money don't lie. Money's what you believe.
Saturday was a winner
for
10.5
over.
10 over 10 for the Buckeyes, and then the beauty was the Schadenfreude of Michigan with the under 9.5. I won both sides of that one. So yeah, Buckeyes had over 10 wins on the season. Michigan had under 9.5, both with awesome value. Enjoyed that. Paid that man his money. Buckeyes roll.
Pay that man his money.
That's right. Buckeyes roll 56-27 and just a fucking beatdown. After the second quarter, I'm not sure this game was ever in question. It was basically a 2-score game for most of the second half. Shawn, I got some numbers for you. What does 118-66 mean to you?
That means a series or a couple years worth of ass whipping.
yeah. Those are the final scores.
It's a big deal, and living up here in enemy territory, it's a huge deal. These guys don't know what to do. This is like nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
For Michigan football. I mean, we could see Michigan football wither away.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think they're cornered. Not to get too deep into the future of Michigan, but they're kind of in a corner where they don't have any other options. They have to stick with this guy, or what? Where do you go? Where do you go from here?
Well, now you've got everybody, but it's Harbaugh's guy. But you've got everybody up here saying Don Brown has to go because Ohio State's laid 60 and 50 on him the last 2 years. I mean, that seems to be the popular opinion. Mm-hmm. But, the guy always comes into this game. He had the number 1 ranked D last year. What was it, number 4 ranked this year? I don't know if that's the problem. Obviously, there's these do it. Ohio State's just that good this year. I mean, if you think Clemson or LSU or anybody or Wisconsin's going to hold us to like 14, you're nuts. It just isn't going to happen. So people that bang on Don Brown, I don't even know what they're going to do about that. Maybe try and bring in someone young and an up-and-comer. But this, to me, with Ryan Day coming in here, setting the tone year one, like you said, this is huge. Michigan fans are bewildered. They're like, well, who are we anymore? I think they're coming to the realization that we've all known forever is they're not that fucking good, and they never were.
Yep. The talent gap.
We've owned them. We've owned them for 50 years outside of Cooper just totally laying eggs. And I would put that on Cooper. Didn't take it as serious. Cooper takes it like Harbaugh takes it. Just like, oh, yeah, it's another game. And, the big difference that you hear up here on the radio is, and, what Fields alluded to is we take it more seriously, is that I think Ohio State fans, we do take it more seriously. Mm-hmm. We want to can beat them. That's it. That's the goal every year, is to beat Michigan.
Yeah, like you just talked about, Fields said it. I mean, he's a guy coming in from the outside. He's only been in Columbus for 10, 11 months now, and he has friends on Michigan's team, and he talks to them about their workouts and their everything they do, their practices and stuff. And Ohio State has daily beat Michigan periods in their practices. Michigan probably doesn't do that. So
he probably thought it was weird at first. Like, what the hell, did I join a cult? These guys are all about
it does seem cultish. Herb makes it that way, right? I mean, the way Herb talks about it, it's cultish.
Well, I think it is. I mean, it is. It always has been.
But we're on the right side of the cult.
Exactly. I think they've given up on it some because they're so non-competitive. Yeah. I don't know if I felt like when we were younger, even the 90s, that the Michigan State and Michigan weren't huge rivalries.
No.
They were the other in-state team. But then with D'Antonio, Michigan State got pretty good, and boom, the rivalry was kind of born. Yeah. And I wonder if some of that is taken. But I'm with Fields. I don't think they take it as serious as we do.
No.
I really don't.
I think it's evident. And I'll go back to what you were talking about with Don Brown. Changing coaches and just like we've talked about before, just swapping guys in and out in the coaching profession is not going to fix it. It's a talent issue. I believe I've said this with every game this year, week in and week out. This is a huge talent gap. Ohio State is the dominant team in the Big Ten, and frankly, 99% of the country. You know?
I would think out there right now, nobody's got more talent that they're putting out there on Saturdays than Ohio State. Not this season.
No. And if you want to go year in and year out, Clemson is newfound money over the last 5 years. You know, Alabama about 15 years ago was garbage. So if we really want to talk about longevity as a program cranking out quality, Ohio State is the gold standard. Everybody else is behind them. Because even when Cooper was,
you got maybe you're like Oklahoma's or somebody like that, but not the guys you think. I mean, if you look like the most wins since Oklahoma and Nebraska got some pretty, but Nebraska's just been such shit for a decade that it's or more.
Yeah. Well, my point is that you can bring in all the coaches you want into Michigan. You can bring in Bill Belichick if you want, but you cannot change the players and the quality of the players you're bringing in.
No, but I think part of it is because look, we're Michigan State beat us without the players. I think at Michigan situation right now, it's a culture. I think you need a cultural change, essentially. And I don't think moving assistants around in that. I think that starts with the head coach. Yeah. You know, Urban Meyer made it all about this. Woody Hayes made it all about this. Tressel, you know, when he started his career, he was on the basketball field. He said, "Hey, you're going to be really proud of your Buckeyes." Right. He changed the tide. He got it going again. Right. He took it serious. They all took it serious, and I think Lloyd Carr did even take it serious. The last one that probably did, and you know, just he got owned. Yep. Ohio State would, you know.
Yeah, Tressel turned the tide over those years in the early 2000s, and I think I don't see how Michigan. They are not beating us in recruiting right now. They're still like around 10, 11 every year. So, and then on top of that, not just recruiting, but player development. This is an issue that's gone back through Brady Hoke and Rich Rod. Those guys were not developing talent. Look at DPJ, for example. Is he any better than when he came into Michigan? Really? I mean, honestly, you could argue that they're not using him to his full capability, but he looks like the same guy as a freshman right now.
I don't know. He's bigger, stronger. I think part of that is the system they've run for most of his career. Battled a couple injuries. I think he's looked pretty decent this year. Is better, but I was listening to a local show here, and they're like, you know, talk about the most underachieving. Like that group should have been so special. Yeah, they're saying, and I put part of that on Shea Patterson. I think Shea Patterson's way overrated.
And the offense, you know, just finally in the second half of the season started opening things up. So you blame Harbaugh for that, and he just brought in Gaddis. I get all that, and sure, that could be part of the problem. But yeah, you have three NFL receivers. These guys are going to play in the league next year. You know, and you're not utilizing them.
Yeah, total mismanagement of the talent that they had for sure.
Yeah. And again,
you know, but I think I saw a stat on there though. You know who wins the Ohio State Michigan game is the person who leads in rushing.
Right.
And they can't run the ball against us.
No.
And we can do it all day long.
Yeah, that's part of what I want to get into as we start talking about the game is thing that blew my mind. I didn't even see this stat until they talked about it on the game coverage. But the Buckeye O-line outweighed their D-line by a 40-pound average. That is massive, dude. That's like us going against a fucking Northwestern or a middle of the road, like an Indiana. That doesn't happen. A Michigan team.
That's like me lining up against my 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I will whip his ass. Promise.
How does a Michigan team not have a 300-pounder on the O-line?
No, also a lot that they talked about up here. I think the one kid they had that was a big recruit, I think his name was Aubrey Solomon. Yeah. He entered the transfer portal earlier in the season, and they haven't really had good recruiting there. And you know what? I a little bit feel their pain. Remember when we couldn't get a D tackle, and Clemson's, Houston got like 2 of the top 10 D tackles, and Ohio State can't get anybody. And now we obviously fixed that problem.
Right.
But
yeah,
I hear
you.
It's kind of amazing.
It just blows my mind that they just had Rashawn Gary come through there. You had Winovich. I know those aren't 300-pound guys, but you had some D linemen that I thought they would have stockpiled in recruiting. Apparently not, because let's get into the game right now. But 118-66 over the last 2 years. That's the combined scores. That's almost getting doubled up if you're Michigan. So, first half, Buckeyes rolled. They opened up a 28-17 lead. I think Michigan played their best possible game in that first half. Shea Patterson was threading the needle. Receivers were making catches. He got the ball out early. He had time. And they won the toss. They walked right down the field on our defense and punched it in.
I was really worried. Those first 2 drives, I mean, there were wide open receivers. I'm like, what kind of zone is this? Yeah. And, maybe we need to change something. But those guys were wide open. Right. I mean, I'm like, oh, my gosh. I was, when they marched right down, I'm like, okay, no big deal. And then we did. And then they marched right down again. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. Yeah,
it was a glaring weakness not having Shawn Wade out there, right?
Yeah. I mean, you gave me some false hope that said that he was warming up out there, but I guess they pulled him late.
Yeah. Ryan Day said they're trying to be smart with it, and obviously Ryan Day thought they could still beat Michigan without him. So, kudos.
Cam Brown got the start.
Yeah.
And then you saw a bunch of Reap in there, and Seven Banks was in there.
They actually moved Arnett to the nickel. He was over the slot for most of the game. So, yeah, they brought in Seven, and they brought in Cam Brown at the outside. They did well.
Against that group of receivers, you damn right they did well. Yeah. I mean, I think at first maybe they were protecting the young corner and trying to do that zone stuff. Mm-hmm. But, man, Michigan was finding the holes in that real quick early.
I know. Seemingly they didn't have any man coverage going on in the first half at all. But, but then we get the ball, we turn it around, march right down the field on them. JK fumbles the fucking first carry.
Oh, my gosh.
And just basketball bounces right back up to his stomach. Jesus.
I mean, to me, Joe, what happens to that football game if that bounces out and they get the ball right there?
We go down 14-0, and we're, like, looking at each other. Like, what the fuck do we do now?
I mean, that to me is a fortuitous. That was a great bounce.
Yep. Exactly. So they did a hell of a job double teaming Chase, chipped him, held him virtually all day long. Apparently, Chase is not in the holding zone. Apparently, there's some secret phone booth where Chase can be held and nobody else can be held. So it's really strange. We've seen this 2 weeks in a row now. Penn State did it virtually every snap, and Michigan did it, especially on that second touchdown. The dude had him fucking olayed from the side and looked like they were doing a fucking salsa dance.
Well, I don't blame them. Do what you got to do to stop that guy. I thought they did. If Michigan did anything well, they held Chase Young in check. So,
yeah,
they were doing that. You've seen a lot of chips, a lot of just, a little extra attention to him.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's always like Chase wears him down. And by the end of the game, he was getting hits and getting around the corner. And you can't stop him the whole game.
Yeah, the first half and the second half were night and day differences from the defensive point of view. But Michigan had their bonehead plays in that first half, and these are the attention to detail that costs them games when they're faced with a tough opponent that has better talent. You can't make these bonehead plays like the Shea fumble. He just fucking dropped a snap.
Well, he wasn't looking at the ball. He was looking, he was preoccupied. He thought, hey, it's going to hit me right square where it's like, hey, man, you got to catch the ball first, bro.
Yeah. In the red zone, too. They were getting ready to tie it up. Then the jumping off sides on the punt.
Oh,
that never happens, dude. I've never seen that fucking happen.
On 4th and 4?
Yes.
4th and 4.5. Jump off sides. Next play, drop a dime. Boom.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a backbreaker. I was like, game over.
Yep. You're getting the ball back, holding us to no points. False touchdown. So, then we paid it back. Garrett Wilson set up a TD for them on the muff punt.
Hold it, timeout. Garrett Wilson, what? Hold it. Number 5 is not allowed to return punts?
What?
Why was he putting the number 18 jersey on punt returns?
Because you can't have two guys with the same number on the field at the same time. So Baron Browning is also on punt. So Garrett Wilson had to slap on the temporary jersey. I thought it was just paying an homage to Tate Martell.
I thought for sure. I'm like, did they change the rules? And like, if you got to be like, number 18 can't return punts, like number 58. I don't know.
No, it's because you can't have the same number. You can't have two guys with the same number.
That makes a lot more sense.
Sure does. So, yeah. So, anyways, he gave them a touchdown there. But first half and the whole game, really, Justin and J.K., it was their show once again. J.K., back-to-back Big Ten Player of the Week, 211 on 31 carries. Kid was a workhorse again. They saved him up for these last couple of stretch games, and 4 TDs. Jesus Christ, Henry. 4 TDs.
I love Jesus Christ. And 4 TDs this game. I mean, I think we have to have a serious conversation. Is J.K. Dobbins one of the best ever? I mean, we'll see how we finish. I think that becomes part of the lore with like a Zeke. But the way J.K. Dobbins has ran the football this year is disgusting. I cannot believe how hard that kid has run every single game. And, oh, my gosh, he's a joy to watch.
Even on the fumble on the first play, your heart stops. And you're like, oh, fuck. But he goes for 34.
I know.
So, yeah.
Michigan knew right there, we're fucked. If that's happening, we're fucked.
Right. But he was just full of big plays all day long, dude. Just breaking them off.
Breaking them off left and right, running, and had some totally huge catches.
Oh, that big slant route. That route, they've been working on that all year. We saw that successful against Northwestern, and they brought it back out. That is a great play. I love it. Right down the gut.
What do you have? He had, throwing his 211. He had 3 for 49.
Sure.
Receiving.
Yep.
Or is it 2 for 49? 2 for 49.
Yeah. Kids showing the entire package. That sounds gross. Anyway, Fields goes over 300 yards. Buckeyes basically ran a balanced attack against these guys. We saw that we could beat them up front with the huge size advantage. O-line just road graded those cocksuckers.
Oh, man.
The tackles weren't that strong, but I'll tell you who I like is the three guys in the middle. Josh Myers at center and Wyatt Davis and Jonah Jackson. Those three guys in the middle are fucking nasty. I'd say you run behind them all day long, you're going to be successful. But Fields had 300, 4 touchdowns himself, all passing. He always looks a little off in the first quarter, you know. He's a little high.
Yeah, he missed his first 3 or 4 passes.
He's always high, like he's too keyed up or something inside. You know, he's too juiced up.
I was getting pissed off. I'm like, why do we keep passing on first down when on second down we run it for 9 every time?
Exactly.
I'm like, let's just keep running it.
Right.
Run it on first and then pass on second and 1.
Right. And they didn't run him much at all. I thought he actually missed a couple of reads on the zone read that he should have kept. But anyways, we had another oh fuck moment where everybody's heart sinks into their fucking prostate. And he goes down again with a knee. Fucking Farrell got manhandled and rolled back into Justin's knee. So he's got an MCL sprain lingering from the Penn State game.
Right.
That was aggravated, obviously, and just slapped a bigger brace on it. Chugs comes in, keeps the fucking drive going, though, right? Fucking gets a first down to KJ, and and then the hero comes out of the medical tent and drops a dime to Garrett Wilson for 6.
Rolling out to your left,
Yep.
stopping, planting, and then throwing that ball, that dime.
Right.
That was insane. That's like when they hand him the Heisman, that's going to be the video that they show.
Yeah. Yeah, the deep balls were in full effect. I mean, even I know the announcers were saying it was kind of windy, but the only bad ball I saw was the one that hit Olave in the face. And I assume that was a wind gust that blew it into him. Nobody's going to try and catch the ball with their fucking face, right? But we had a lot of deep balls in the past game. Wilson with
I couldn't believe that Olave dropped that ball.
Well, yeah, but I think there was a wind gust.
Olave don't drop that ball. I don't know, man. That to me,
Wilson had the huge day.
Go.
Wilson with well over 100 yards on just 3 catches, but they were big plays. Olave also, obviously, just a couple catches, but had the touchdown. So, yeah, first half, Buckeyes are obviously in control. Then the second half, everything just gets ugly from Michigan. We start blitzing more. Baron Browning is on the field most of the second half, whereas Tough Borland was in on the first half. And they were running a 4-4-3 defense a lot in the first half. I guess they were worried about the Michigan run game and them trying to establish it, but Borland was not in the game much in the second half, and Baron Browning was in there.
I love Baron Browning.
Fuck yeah. They were bringing him on blitzes.
That dude's the beast.
Yeah. And Chase didn't put up any numbers, but he was affecting the passes. Shea Patterson was throwing off his back foot. Wide receivers were dropping balls. Things definitely went south quickly in the second half.
Well, we started hitting. I mean, we started hitting those boys, and that DPJ is what they call him up here, the Peoples Jones.
Yeah.
He got smoked. That was him that got smoked over the middle. They were going to call Fuller for the targeting. Right. That wasn't targeting. That's separating the guy from the ball.
Yeah, I don't know if it gets much cleaner than that. I mean,
I don't think so. I'm like, that's how you teach it. You can't go any more than that, but that's as hard as you can actually go.
And if the receiver ducks his head into the hit, at the last split second, what can you do? You cannot change your angle as a defender when you're already off your feet and this guy's ducking. Yeah. So clean play, good hard football in my opinion. I love seeing more QB pressures, and Okudah and Arnett just completely shut down those fucking wide receivers.
Yeah, Okudah was a stud. Arnett was a stud. And Reap with the freaking beautiful pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing these guys that are going to be there next year because we're going to lose so many back there.
Right.
I'm just super happy to see Banks and Reap and Cam Brown in the game.
Yeah.
Also, my boy Austin Mack showed up. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
Austin Mack's got the heart of a lion, and expect Austin Mack to contribute and be catching tough balls, getting first downs, and blocking and just making shit happen. 'Cause Austin Mack is a boss.
Right. Oh, and sorry, we should have brought this up. Maybe I'll move this section over. But what about Coop coming back just for the Michigan game?
Yeah.
His last game of the year, he knew he had one game to burn to get his to still maintain his medical red shirt and come back next year. And he's like, I'm playing the fucking Michigan game. Gets the sack. Fucking baller.
I don't know. He's 100% healthy now.
No. I don't think he's 100%.
We just played in this game. How do you sit out the next, hopefully, 3 games?
He has to.
This could be the year.
Right, but he has to.
Well, he has to if he wants the red shirt. Or do you roll the dice and try and win the natty? And
I don't think he's
go have
going to
a
make
nice
that
combine.
difference. He's not going to make that difference. He's not. One defensive end is not going to win or lose the natty unless it's Chase Young. You know, he's not affecting point spreads and stuff.
And Chase Young can't really lose it for you. He can only win it for you, essentially. I mean, he's going to play solid as shit.
Right.
Does he just take over the game or not?
Yep.
So he ain't going to lose it for you, but he could win it for you with a couple strip sacks.
Exactly. Yeah, so overall, for me, I think it was a pretty clean game other than the muff punt by Garrett Wilson. And that was in the second quarter. It's not like it was in a, I guess you could say they're all meaningful, but it wasn't like a huge point in the game. Buckeyes scored 14 points every quarter. That's pretty consistent.
Yeah, put another 560 plus yards on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what more do you want?
Time of possession dominated, though. 36 minutes to 23. I think that's a big deal.
Well, yeah, when you run it for 264, that things like that are going to happen.
But most of the runs were for big money, you know. So
What amazed me was that Teague, and I know it was a lot of garbage time, and we're running, but the Teague only got 2.4. Did we bring in was the backup line in there late?
yeah, probably. I didn't pay attention. I would imagine, though. Day really called off the dogs there.
He comes out with like a snap count.
Yeah. Ryan Day really called off the dogs in the fourth quarter. We could have eclipsed the 62 of last year, I think. But
yeah, I mean, we put it in neutral.
Yeah. We got to talk about some rando shit. First, number one is the cheap shot by that punk-ass McGrone guy on Justin Fields over the sideline.
Out of bounds.
He was past the white and into the next layer of green when he got popped by that McGrone, and everybody kind of stood up to him, especially J.K. and the old line. They took issue with that, and then we stuffed it down their fucking throats for a touchdown shortly thereafter.
And then Dobbins ran over there to get in his face.
He did. Yeah. And then we got to talk about this because this is, in my opinion, the ultimate sign, not just the McGrone cheap shot, but on top of that, the untying of JK's shoes. Are you kidding me? This is what you're resorting to. Untying the running back shoes.
Isn't that the epitome of where their program is at?
Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
You know, is that what Don Brown's defense? How do we slow him down? Take the shoe.
Yeah. I have to think.
No one
can
run with the shoe. Take the shoe.
Well, yeah. I like to see JK in bare feet. He might actually be even more damaging. I don't know, but anyway, I know that the coaches.
Yeah, one guy should have got up and like ran off with it.
Yeah, yeah, or tossed it into the stands.
Right, so you don't get it back. Yeah, throw it in the student section in Michigan.
Souvenir night at the big house.
They're back in the locker room looking for Jake. Okay, like, damn, he got no more shoes. That was the shoe.
Yeah. So yeah, I know the coaches aren't teaching that, but it tells you what the players think.
When I was watching that live in the company I was in over in Tiffin, no one told. I'm like, they just took his shoe.
Yeah.
And then they came back and then threw that flag. I'm like, all right, good, they got it. But I ain't never seen anything like that.
I didn't even know that was a penalty.
And the thing is, it would have been all right if you're gonna take the shoe. It tells you how soft and bitch Michigan is.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take the shoe, when you were hanging on to the shoe, right, to get him down, just rip it right off.
Right.
Instead, these little dainty motherfuckers trying to untie it and
do it the right way.
Give him a foot massage while you're down there. Don was looking at him like, "What's wrong with you weirdos?"
I know.
Motherfucker.
His reaction was awesome. He's like, "What the fuck?"
It was great. That was beautiful.
He's probably. I would love to get him in a room with a couple drinks and hear his honest opinion about what he thought of that. Because
he's like, I'm looking down. These guys are untying my shoe.
Right.
Trying to you're on national TV,
right.
boys.
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere, man. This ain't high school football.
Exactly.
I would expect that maybe in minor little leagues or Pop Warner or something, but jeez. So yeah,
I know, and you're not strong enough just to rip the damn shoe off your foot. I mean, like when you go, you do it real quick, like you're getting up pissed, and it accidentally comes. There's a way to do that.
Right. It tells you that
your way is not good.
They were licking their chops when they saw he didn't have any tape over his shoes. They're like, "Oh, he's right for the taking."
Dirty bastards.
I know, but it just again tells you the fragility of that program, and how they know they can't beat us on the up and up. You know, so Harbaugh.
A damn man's shoes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. In worst case scenario, he misses a play. You know, one play. Come on.
That might save him 12 yards.
Right. It's just only prolonging the agony, though. So Harbaugh though was being a triggered snowflake after the game. Somebody asked him a question. I actually have it pulled up here. Have you heard this?
I have.
Post game.
Jim's sensitive. I get it. They played better today. They were really good. They got all pissed off.
He's such a
Jim Harbaugh is perfect. I love Jim Harbaugh. I got to tell you. I hope Jim Harbaugh coaches there 20 more years.
And he probably could and would. I mean, he's getting paid handsomely. There's no reason to go to the NFL if a team in college is going to be happy with 9 or 10 wins a year. Why would you strive for anything else if you're going to get paid like an NFL coach? You know?
Right.
Seems to be less pressure. You don't have to work as many hours. So, I don't know. But I know
you just have to get them to buy in that, hey, we're Iowa, we're Wisconsin. You know, we're gonna be good every now and then.
Yep. But we're not going to win our division.
No, you know, you might win it once a decade, but you're not going to be the guys there.
No. Right. So yeah, he made some questionable calls in the game, in my opinion, where he's kicking
The
field
going
goals.
for 3.
Yeah,
The field goal.
right.
Yeah, that's the opposite. I was wearing my the Buckeye Cast because I couldn't go for 3 Woody Hayes T-shirt. That's my
Right.
new lucky shirt. I wear that every game.
Nice.
And Harbaugh's like the opposite of that. Why didn't you go for 7? Because I could go for 3.
Yeah, yeah. he brought a field goal to a touchdown fight.
Yeah. Hey, if I kick this field goal, I'll only be down by 3 touchdowns.
Right. 0-5 versus the Buckeyes as a coach. And you just don't see that fire that you saw out of him as a player. He's really kind of...
Well, Valenti, I was listening. I don't know if it was him or a caller in or somebody, but made a point on there. Is like, okay, Harbaugh's been here 5 years. Do you think Harbaugh's like getting more energy and like more into this, or plateauing and like almost downsloping on this deal?
Mm-hmm.
So
he seems like despondent right now. Like not even.
It seems like he's losing energy.
Exactly.
Like he was
That's what
super
I'm saying.
hyped. He was climbing trees. He was having sleepovers.
Yeah.
And now he's not taking. He'll answer questions, but not insults. And
yeah. He has his morals. But yeah,
I just think he's a weird dude.
I think he's definitely on the
In
decline.
today's day and age, I don't know if a hardball can do it in the Twitterverse with recruiting and stuff.
Yeah.
Who wants to play for that weirdo?
And he does not inspire me if I'm looking at it from a recruit's point of view. I don't see how you're attracted to that.
I can see how you are regionally, but not to get the national kids. I don't see. I can see how a Charles Woodson or Desmond Howard, a kid from Ohio, goes there. I can see how a kid from Illinois or Indiana goes there. But I don't see how a kid's coming up from Georgia to go to Michigan.
Yeah.
Florida to go to Michigan.
Right. Well, he has zero recruits from Ohio.
Unless they're legacy.
Right. He has zero recruits in his class from Ohio. I think that's a huge problem.
It wouldn't be a problem because our Ohio recruits went under Urban Meyer. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be a problem for Michigan if they were getting better recruits. The thing is, we gave up a bunch of Ohio recruits for national studs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Ohio
the ones that come in, like Justin Fields, if you're going to come in, you have to buy into the Ohio State thing and buy into the beat Michigan thing.
Right.
And that's that.
Yep. And it would be the same no matter where you went to school. If you went to UCLA, USC, if you went to USC, you'd have to hate Notre Dame. That's your rival. As lame as that rivalry is nowadays, but still, no matter where you go, you got to buy into the program, and that's part of it. So I see Harbaugh as just kind of flailing right now, and he could last there another 10 years or as long as he wants. Honestly, they're not going to fire him. It's just, does he want to stay? Because I could see him wanting to go back to the NFL soon.
No, they're not going to fire him, but they're going to demand some things. The changes need to be made. Something needs to be made, either culturally. They've given Harbaugh the chance to do a thing Harbaugh wants. He can spend $1 gazillion. He can take the kids to Europe. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But he hasn't changed the culture that you've got to beat Ohio State. And I don't know if he can. I don't know if it's in him. Because if it hasn't been in you for 5 years, how do you just all of a sudden get that in you? Exactly. Meyer always had it in him. Ryan Day learned about it under Meyer. He's like, okay, I know what this means. Yeah. You'd think Harbaugh would have it playing in that game under Bo.
But
What?
it's a different.
Bo's a fraud. Bo wasn't that. Bo never won a national championship.
That's very true.
Bo was like 2-7 or something stupid in bowl games. He would hold his own against Ohio State typically.
Their big feather, his big feather in the cap, is beating the '69 Buckeyes when they were supposed to be like the juggernaut. That's
Exactly. But I think Michigan world lives in this. Bo was the greatest. Bo was this and that. Bo wasn't that good.
No. And it was only 10 years.
Bo was a tough old bird. I'll give him that. You know, he's an old school tough coach.
And
that ain't got you nothing.
And that was only 10
since
years.
World War II.
That was only 10 years of your school's existence. They've shared a national title in 60 years. That's it. Shared one. That's all you got. That's all you can bring to the table. Because that's all that matters. And again, we have to stop comparing ourselves to Michigan because we're not on the same level. Michigan's at least a notch or two below us. We should be comparing ourselves only to Bama and Clemson right now at this point in time.
Oh, for me, I felt like that for years. Anytime, and there's a lot of pundits around the country and this and that, and maybe it's more local guys than national, but they'll always say, like the blue bloods, and they'll say like Bama and Clemson, and they'll leave out Ohio State.
Yeah.
You know what? If you're leaving out Ohio State, and when you're talking about blue bloods, then I ain't got no respect for you. Because there ain't no bluer blood, like you said. In the long term, we've been blue blood for 50 years. We've been blue blood. Ain't nobody been blue blood longer than us.
Right.
Nobody.
Yep. We had one down year in the last 3 decades, and that was because Luke Fickell took over for Tressel, and his 5 best players were suspended. So he's playing with basically half a team, and he almost beat Michigan that year, even without his 5 best players and a freshman quarterback. We've owned Michigan, and this trend is not changing. It's actually getting worse. The talent gap is widening right now, and there's no coach or no booster or any program that you can put together to make this gap closer. There's nothing they could do. This is just moving forward. It's like, a sinking ship for them.
Well, I think they'd need a title change. I think it's proven that Harbaugh can't do it. I don't think they realize that yet, even though it's a fact. I think it'll take 1 to 2 more years before they realize that. And again, it's going to be on Harbaugh's terms. They'll keep Harbaugh for 10 years, getting 9 and 10 wins.
Yeah, and they can be satisfied with that, and I think they will be. But they are.
I actually think they have to be because I think that's the new reality. Outside of getting a generational coach, a Dabo Sweeney, I don't know. I don't think Harbaugh can do it.
No,
prove me wrong.
We've seen the peak.
I want him there forever. Prove me wrong, Harbaugh.
Right.
You can't do it.
Right, and I don't know where you would turn anyways. Where would you go to look for somebody that's going to win 1 or 2 more games a year? I think that coach is just not out there for them. So. Yeah, so let the agony continue. They're definitely not coming into Columbus and beating us next year with the squad we got put together. Best hope is maybe 2021. So mark your calendars down. Hang around a little bit longer, Harbaugh.
Yeah, I mean, next year, just my crystal ball says next year's a problem for them.
Yeah, you think? That's a huge problem. I want to point fingers, but you're a problem.
I mean, they better hope all those receivers come back, which I don't see happening.
No.
I think
no.
I think Collins and Peoples-Jones are gone.
Yep. So, yeah.
Tariq Black might come back. That Ronnie Bell, I think she'll have to come back, but their O line. They got most of them are eligible. I don't know if they're good enough to play on Sunday or not yet.
Yeah.
Regardless, Michigan football, RIP 2019. I think it's done.
Yeah.
If
it wasn't obvious last year, it is now. Back-to-back years of getting smoked. So let's bury them with a shovel right now and jump into the future and this Big Ten championship game we got coming up on Saturday. 8 o'clock Saturday night in Indianapolis on the fast track, as we like it, on Fox. So we're playing Wisconsin again. I don't know how to get excited for this. We just saw
I don't
this,
either. I mean,
we just saw this movie like 5 weeks ago, man.
it's not ideal.
Minnesota would have only been fun because it was different, not because
Exactly.
they're good. But so yeah, everybody remembers end of October when we spanked Whiskey 38-7 in the shoe. It was a physical game, of course. I mean, that's what they do. You know, they play one style, and we beat their monkey style.
What does that mean, playing them twice?
For them,
I mean, we did it. To me, it's hard to beat a team twice.
it is.
I
Yeah.
think this will be tougher than the first time, even though we are on the fast track.
I would assume so. Yeah. Last time we were only up 10-7 early in the third quarter. There was a point in the game where it was tight. Then we dropped the hammer, and the offense went out, moved the ball. Defense shut them down. Jonathan Taylor had 20 carries for a total of 52 yards.
Wow.
Jack Cohn had like 100 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Cephas, the number 1 receiver, had 3 catches for 57 yards. They only put up about 200 yards, a little less than 200 yards total offense. This was the game when Chase really broke out and had the 4 sacks. So I expect him to be double teamed. To probably utilize some of what they saw against in the Michigan game. Chip him, double team him, shit like that. We do have Shawn Wade back. He's ready to roll. Not that we really need him against this prolific Wisconsin passing attack.
I don't know. We played them really well last time. We'll see if they adjust to us. Does this game, I mean, other than you want to hang the Big Ten banner up on the ceiling, losing here, does it even keep us out of the playoff?
Losing to Michigan would have been less damaging.
Agreed.
Versus this game. Not winning your conference championship in the past has been an issue with the fucking playoff committee, so who knows. I think it looks bad, but you could still win a tight game and be fine, in my opinion. I wouldn't want to tempt fate and lose a close game, that's for sure, in a conference championship.
Right.
But again, I'm going to go back to my same old. My ace under the sleeve is a talent gap, man. I mean, I know it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season, but fucking talent gap. It's simple. I mean, I don't know if they can coach some way to make their players better than our players.
No, but to me, it all goes down to, the lines. And Wisconsin has, on offense, a serious offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, they didn't do so well last time, but that's the type of line that can get a little mean and hungry and have a nice bounce-back game.
Yeah.
Accept the challenge and do all right, because that line isn't a bunch of bitches. It really isn't.
Sure, I agree.
So to me, the skill on the other side, yeah, you're going to need kids to play outside themselves and make up that talent that Ohio State has. But if the lines can do their job, which I don't think their D line can do, not against our maulers,
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be their problem.
Right, and supposedly they were one of the best run defenses in the country when we went up against them. They still gave up 400 yards total offense, We went for 264 on the ground. JK had a $160, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, JK had that sweet stiff arm on that linebacker, Braun. Put him in the fucking ground.
What was your bet on JK? You almost doubled that shit.
Oh, yeah. That was easy money, man. I cleaned up after like week 8 on that shit. That was...
put the mortgage on that one.
Should have. Shit. I don't know what Vegas was thinking on that. Yeah, he put up... The over-under was 1,100 rushing only, and then 10.5 receiving and rushing touchdowns. He smashed those numbers.
Where's he at? He's second all time. Where's he at on the year?
On the year, he's got yardage rushing. He has 1,650.
And how many touchdowns?
19.
That's ridiculous.
He should be in New York for the Heisman. He's definitely
Agreed.
Better runner than Jonathan Taylor, but just to...
I don't know. I love me some Jonathan Taylor, too.
Yeah, he's fine. But, again, Fields had... And he didn't have a huge passing day, but he had 2 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing against him the first time. Olave had 2 touchdowns against Wisconsin last time. So, I think we're in...
They'll probably key on him.
Good luck. Key on whoever you want, because we got dudes.
Well, you got a lot of dudes.
Yeah, we got JK, you got Garrett Wilson, who's really coming into his own, and he's actually looking like Olave of last year, you know. Olave broke out against Michigan with a big day, and then had a big game in the Big Ten Championship. So, this could be Garrett Wilson's time to shine.
I think Olave's smoother, but Garrett's just a flat-out freak athlete that just can catch anything.
And he's a beast. He's huge. He's a big fucking dude. So.
Oh man, I love that. Good job, Brian Hartline. Good gosh.
Yeah.
Please stay at Ohio State forever. Just be a career wide receiver coach, please.
Well, you got to
pay that man whatever he wants. Make him wide receiver coach for the next 10 years at 1.2 a year.
Like it or not, you got to go back and credit Zach Smith with the Garrett Wilson signing, because this is what Tommy Herman got all bent out of shape for, was this recruit.
Tom?
Yep.
Does he still have a job?
Well, he does. He's he's pulling the D'Antonio shuffle the deck chairs on the Titanic move right now. He didn't fire Tim Beck, but he has been quote unquote reassigned. So they don't want to fire Tim Beck because he's a good recruiter in Texas, and he was instrumental in the Bijan Robinson recruitment. And they also have Stan Drayton, the former running back coach here at Ohio State, who was instrumental, obviously, in the Bijan Robinson recruitment. So if Bijan flips, or if they do anything to upset the apple cart with Bijan, then Tommy's in big trouble, I think.
You know, I so far removed a bit from it, being up here in Big Ten land, you down there in SEC, ACC land. Mm-hmm. But I would imagine being in Austin around Texas is like being in Ann Arbor around Michigan. I mean, what a dump that's been for so long with which were once considered blue bloods.
Yep.
Even if Michigan was falsely considered one, at least they were considered one. They're no longer considered that by anyone, right?
Right.
No one thinks that anymore.
Right. Definitely not. Their time is past.
Fucking what? You're like Oregon. You're decent every 3 years.
Yeah. I don't think he's won 10 games since he's been there.
Who?
Herman at Texas.
Yeah, I think I saw some crazy stat where they've lost 4 games for like 10 years in a row. At least 4.
Right.
4? What the? That's nuts.
Yep.
If we lose 4 games in a year, that shit better get corrected the next year, or we want a new coach.
Exactly. Yeah, heads roll.
That's what they don't understand up here in Michigan. They're like, what other program would accept the mediocrity that Harbaugh's got? And they say, well, it's Ohio State's peaking right now and this and that. Okay, that's fine, and some of that's true. But you came in and brought your savior in, paid him more than anybody else. So you paid to get them relevant again, and they're not. They're not relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we need to finish off this Wisconsin game before we get sidetracked too far.
Yeah, I know.
So, microscopes. Who do you have on offense for your microscope against these Wisconsin Badgers?
Who did I have last week on microscope? Do you remember?
I can tell you that. I have that information at my fingertips. You had... Oh, I didn't write it down, sorry.
Oh, pass.
I'm sure you went with
I probably
an
went
easy
with
one.
Dobbins.
Yeah, you probably went with
Dobbins.
Yeah, you went with an easy one.
I think I did go with Dobbins, just for the simple fact that I was very worried coming off carries. I did not think that he would be the horse that he is, but that just goes to show that dude is so freaking solid. Yeah. And again, I mean, historically, maybe one of the best running backs Ohio State's ever had all around.
Yeah, I had Fields last week. I know that.
Love that dude. So I'm going with him again. Ohio State goes as J.K. Dobbins goes. J.K. Dobbins versus Taylor. Right. This time indoors, and my money's on my horse Dobbins.
Mm-hmm. Riding the back of the J.K. Got it. All right. I'm gonna ride the kid. I'm gonna get on the youngins' back, and my guy Garrett Wilson, 5 or 18 or 99. I don't care what number he wears. That's my guy. I think he's gonna have a huge game. Wisconsin definitely doesn't have an answer for our receivers, and I think Garrett Wilson's going to get more snaps. Kind of let down by Ben Vick's performance, basically since he got to Ohio State, but more so this year, just so hit and miss. KJ's Mr. Consistent, don't get me wrong. I appreciate what he brings to the table, but big playability and watch for the long ball. Garrett Wilson, deep balls all day.
Yeah.
Going balls deep. Yeah, so who do you want to go with on defense under your microscope?
He is my boy. Leading tackler this week. Everywhere, all the time. Baron Browning.
Nice. Okay. I was looking at linebacker as well, because of this offense we're going up against. I do wonder if they're going to try and pull any silly shit and try throwing the ball around the lot. I can't see that happening. They are who they are, and for them to try and be something different doesn't make sense at all. And their coach, Paul Chryst, has a fucking ego anyways when he tried to go one-on-one all day long with Chase Young. So I'm going to go my new guy, this week's guy, Davon Hamilton. Had a nice day against them a few weeks ago, and I think he's going to have a big one. And he has definitely made himself some money this year when it comes to the NFL draft. So, Davon Hamilton in the middle, plugging it up. So let's get into our score prediction, Shawn. I got current spread.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
You didn't miss anything.
No.
So let's get into our predictions. We got the Buckeyes right now at a 16-point spread and an over-under of 56.5. How's that taste?
Well, so I'm just looking back at my sheet. And back when we played Wisconsin 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Right.
I had Ohio State 28-24 over Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
That was like our closest game of the year that I had.
Yep.
And now that we've been through so much, I'm going to up that shit. Okay. 48-21 Buckeyes. Cover over.
Yeah. So you're looking for some action on the fast track, eh?
Yeah, I think they'll get theirs, and they might get one late because Ohio State may be up like 42-7 at some point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. I'm going to go with. I liked my prediction from the Wisconsin game that didn't really come to fruition, but I'm going to go. I don't like kicking field goals, but I think we might, just for sport. I think I'm going to go low-scoring affair.
59-0.
No, I'm going 31-10.
31?
Yeah.
What? Has everyone got the flu?
No, we just played 2 battering ram games 2 weeks in a row, and I think the guys in the trenches are going to be a little soft and a little sore.
But and so were their guys, and we got more guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna smash them. I think that will be a problem, and maybe our ones are a little bit wore down. We'll bring in the 2s and smash them.
Yeah, I'm calling for the Buckeyes to cover, but I don't feel good about a high-scoring affair. I think we get the starters out in the third quarter, and Chugs comes in, and they just kind of milk the clock in the second half, and it reduces the number of possessions, really.
Well, let me ask you, so I've heard it looks like Shawn Wade's going to play. What was wrong with Shawn Wade? What was the injury?
It was a hamstring, I think.
Do we know?
I think it was just a hamstring.
It's a leg. I don't. Yeah. No. I'd have rather it been a hand like Arnett. Arnett can play with a hand.
Sure.
You can't play with a hamstring.
No. Yeah, and that's why Ryan Day was like, we can beat these guys without Shawn Wade. Let's get him healthy, for next week.
I don't know. I mean, that's pretty. I don't believe that for a minute. That's coach speak, because that Michigan receiver core with Ronnie Bell also is probably the best receiver core, top to bottom, that we're going to face going through the rest of the way. But I don't know why you're not resting a guy for that. I don't buy that. That's coach speak.
Well, he said he wanted to be smart with it, and I assume
I agree with that.
Maybe there was more damage to be done had he played, and where you risk playing a guy at whatever percentage he's at, and then he injures it further and is out throughout the playoffs. That's
right, risk reward.
Yeah.
And probably knowing, someone told me that if we would have lost that Michigan game and then go in the Big Ten championship game and win, we were still 90-something% to get in.
Oh, yeah. In the playoffs, for sure. We probably would have been a 4 seed, but we definitely would have got in.
But would have locked down that 4 seed.
Yeah.
Like a strong 4 seed, not
Sure.
even a conversation about it.
Sure. But we would have had to lost a close game. I think we talked about that last week. Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyways, I don't see losing this game, and I'd rather have Shawn Wade get an extra week of rest. And you got to play these young guys at some point, right? They need to get that baptism by fire. So
these are big games, man. This is high stakes poker here.
Right. If somebody goes down, you're going to need one of those young guys to come in. So, while we get right into the CFP, the current odds right now, Buckeyes are plus 150, Clemson plus 225, LSU plus 250, Georgia plus 1,200. So a huge gap between LSU and Georgia. Then you got Utah at plus 2,000 and Oklahoma at 3,300. And then Baylor down here is sucking dick at 15,000. So if you want to...
So where did you get your money in that? I got Buckeyes in at plus 900.
Yeah, I was at 9-1. Yep. I also have some action on just getting into the playoff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what was that? It wasn't great odds. It was, they're not going to give the Buckeyes great odds for that. But
what, 3, 4?
Plus 160. Yeah, not even that good. So,
jeez, money knows, man. Money knows.
I hit some serious team totals, team win over-unders this past week as the rest of college football finished up. I had Nebraska under 8.5 team wins. Covered that. West Virginia under 5.5. I won that.
West Virginia, how do you even know something like that?
I just follow stuff. BYU under 6.5.
Stalker. You're like a West Virginia stalker.
Yeah. I almost had Notre Dame under 9, but they won a couple late games there. I think they finished 10-2. Washington under 9.5. Yep.
They're shit.
Yep. Oh, don't forget, somebody had Ohio State plus 3 going into Ann Arbor over the summer.
Oh, you didn't get on that plus 7? Didn't it open it like plus 7?
Yeah. So anyways, who do you have as your Final Four and what order?
Yeah, I got the Buckeyes winning and then maintaining that one spot. I just body of work, the effectiveness everywhere. I mean, we don't have the chink in our armor that LSU does on defense. We don't have the chink in our armor that Clemson has of not playing anyone ever, and their quarterback throwing a bunch of picks early in the season.
Right.
So to me, it's Ohio State wins this game. They're hands down number 1, and I think they will, and not easily. Wisconsin's going to bring it. It's going to be a tough game. Wisconsin maybe was one of our toughest games all year, and it's going to be a tougher one this year or the second time around.
I agree. So you're going
Michigan's proven to be a fraud. So yeah, I'm going to Buckeyes 1. I'm going LSU 2. I think they beat Georgia. But I don't know. LSU's defense is so suspect.
Yeah.
They're susceptible to lose to Georgia. And then what happens? If they lose to Georgia, do they just flip-flop and Georgia goes to 2 and LSU goes to 4?
I think.
But
I don't know how you do that. That would be messy. I think they go to 3 and 4 in some kind of order.
And Clemson goes to 2?
Right. Which is fine. It doesn't matter if Clemson's 2 or 3,
Right.
We're playing number 4, and I'm not too worried about LSU or Georgia. I'll take either one.
But is the committee going to say, hey, I just had SEC championship game with LSU and Georgia, and supposing one of them gets waxed?
Yeah, well, that will be 2 losses for Georgia.
Right.
So that's a big deal.
Well, yeah, if Georgia loses, Georgia.
So that opens the field for Utah or
and
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Who could both lose also? What if they both lose?
Then you got a major league crap storm on your hands.
Don't you?
Yeah. I don't know who you pick from that crew. Because Oklahoma's shown that they're weak as fuck, especially on defense.
Penn State might back their ass up into that shit.
I don't know, man. They didn't look so good against Rutgers last week. But Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see when the rankings come out.
Yeah.
When the rankings come out this week, who's ever behind Utah and Oklahoma, it's probably Bama.
Yeah, they're definitely in the top 10, but...
Nah, they got 2 losses now.
Mm-hmm. But they carry so much weight with the fucking committee, you know? So...
There's got to be a better, like, 1 loss. Maybe not. Any good 1 loss teams out there?
Yeah.
See, now this would be the year that if Memphis or Cincinnati or whatever would have kept the undefeated streak, that this is the year you could come in and get that 4th spot.
Yeah. That's true.
As an undefeated.
Yeah.
But not even with 1 loss, a 2 loss Bama trumping that shit.
Right. Yeah. I'm basically going with the same top 4. I'm going, I think the Buckeyes leapfrog LSU and number 1, LSU number 2, and then you got Clemson,
we already did.
Georgia.
We're number 1 now, right?
Right, but I mean, all right, I should say Buckeyes maintain number 1, and I'm curious to see if LSU beating Georgia forces them to be pushed to number 1, because that's a better quality win than what we're going to have this week. You know? They're beating a number 4, where we're beating what? A number 10 or whatever? 10, 11, 12?
Yeah, but coming off top 10-ish.
Right.
Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin.
Right. So Sunday is when the next rankings come out, right after the conference championships. So we got the Tuesday night ones tomorrow. Then after the conference championships, you got these finals on Sunday.
I'll be on a flight to Japan.
Again? Jesus. I'll let you know how it goes.
Well, I'll be there a day ahead of you, so I'll tell you how fucking it goes.
All right. Saki it to me. So, anyway, that's our show, folks. Don't forget, hit the website, get those Christmas National Championship T-shirts, a little ugly sweater action. Everybody needs one of those.
Gold pants.
Get yourself the Gold Pants Club shirts, and let's roll our way into Indianapolis. You got a date Saturday, baby.
Woo!
Yeah, let's smash these Badgers once again, and keep them moving. And then we'll heal up and get healthy for the playoff run.
Oh, one last thing.
Yeah.
So, did you check? Has anyone went 15-0?
15-0. I don't know.
We'll look that up and we can discuss it next week after this win.
Okay. Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
To do that.
Okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh yeah, Clemson went 15-0.
Ah, fuckers.
Just last year.
All right, so we won't be the first to do that.
We were the first to go 14-0 back in 2002. If that makes you feel better.
Slightly.
All right. I'll take it.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. First. So we popped the cherry on that. So yeah, folks, don't forget, hit the website, thebuckeyecast.com. Follow us, review us. Please. Let's go Bucks, and let's go find another banner to hang up. Shawn, thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you coming from the cold tundra. And let's do it. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Big Ten.
Later.
Wait.